Hey guys, welcome to DreamCoin, where we show how to invest for a better tomorrow. My name's Tyler, and we're just going to be doing a quick update on MRIN with some insight into some of the institutional buying that appears to be happening, where I think the stock could be going over the next few days, and if this still has potential to run into higher highs at some point in the next week. Right now, I'm just going to quickly recap where we've gone since June 24th. We are obviously very high up. I mean, if we switch to percentages here, we're still sitting almost 400% higher than when it was down here around this June 24th area. So we're still up over 420% on that basis going from there. I know a lot of people are stressed about the price action. So to break it down, looking at back to when we had our first huge run, it ran over 400% and then was cut in half and went down 50%. Since then, it was doing a complete incline up, and then it's been slowly coming down over the last couple market days. A significant point to keep in mind is that there was general market weakness the last couple days. We did see a very nice spike during the day today from MRIN after it took a basically pre-market drop from after hours yesterday. But overall, it had a solid day from where I was looking at the stock in general. We still have our support here that I said would be pretty crucial in the last couple of videos, where I said the $16 level would be something to watch. It held the support pretty well coming out of pre-market, and it had a huge jump from what looked like just insane buy volume coming in. There was a completely widening gap between the inflow and outflow volume on large and medium orders around this time, and this looked like a lot of potential institutional buying coming into the stock that pumped it to about $21 at the peak, and then it settled down into a bull flag formation where it's consolidated here going into after hours. At the end of after hours today, we're sitting about $17.55, so it's not a terrible price considering I said that we could be expecting pullback to 16, and it recovered from that. As I said before, the big thing to watch in this is going to be the order flow distribution. I brought up in my video yesterday that there was a large increase in the buys coming in on the inflow, and today alone we had about a $12 million difference in inflow to outflow, where the inflow was about $84.35 million and the outflow was $71.96 million. Predominantly, the large buy volume beat out the large sell volume by about $5 million, and the medium buy volume beat out the medium sell volume by about another $8 million. The only downside on the order flow right now is on small orders, so that's going to be more retail. I think a lot of people were panicking with the general market weakness and just things in general going on with the stock not going up as everybody expected it to consistently do. I would imagine that's part of why the stock's been dropping and coming down. In general, it hasn't been looking too bad. The volume for today was still pretty low. We only had 17.72 million volume, and we did see very little buying in the broader market due to the fact that everything was kind of bleeding today. I tweeted about it earlier, where it's either you kind of just step away from your computer or you buy for a little bit and you just chill for the next few days and see where everything goes. I don't think it was too weak in comparison to the broader market. It still had some attention, but it's not quite the volume we're looking for. If this doesn't pick up soon, it's going to be in a lot of trouble for where the future of the stock's going to go. We do have some changes in the short interest here too, where our SI is down to 111.77%. They're still estimated to be 11 million shares shorted out of the total float, so we're still above the amount of the total float. And as we've said before, anything above 20% is actually pretty high for anything in the market. So even with this still just being trending more towards 100%, we are still in a pretty good place where we could see a lot of growth going into the next few days with the right volume. To put things in perspective, I'm going to be comparing the short interest and the price action today to the short interest that it's most similar to, which would be June 29th, which was last Tuesday. Now, if you look at June 29th, they actually had pretty much the exact opposite action that we had today. Although we had that jump at start of market, we had a slow decline and consolidation to the day. But on June 29th, we had a spike, consolidation in the middle, and then a spike again that settled down into pre-market, which led into the decline on June 30th. We are currently sitting slightly higher in short interest than this price originally increased on this day, where they had started just above that $8 area around market open and then screamed all the way up into that $17 to $18 area. And what we can conclude from this is that not only is the short interest higher than this date where this had a super bullish day, but the share price is still higher than that day by a pretty decent amount. I mean, we've got support that's sitting almost near the peak of that day. So that's pretty significant for where we're holding. This gives me a lot of outlook for where 16 does look like a at least temporary floor for me. If we broke down from 16, I could be seeing about $14 as our next segment down for where we're going, but I don't see too much movement down to 14. We are going to be on SSR going into Friday, July 9th. So that does help as well. And so this sets up for a possible bull run going into the weekend, but I don't expect too much action actually until next week. What I'm going to be looking for is an influx of buy volume coming in on calls for next week. There's been some data circulating where it shows there's been a lot of interest in the $20 and $30 call options that would expire next Friday. So that would prolong this for about a week of where we can go. And if price can hold here, that would be the timeline of where we could be looking for a possible gamma squeeze. With the institutional buying presumably coming in on those large orders, this looks very bullish for where somebody is still trying to keep this up. It was very apparent somebody did not want this sitting on the $16 area to make it run all the way up to this 21 area some. Obviously, part of that could be shorts covering, but there was just so much large inflow coming in that there was no way that was just shorts covering. And then on top of that, there just wasn't enough shorts covering during the day to even do anything. What we could be seeing going into tomorrow is possibly more consolidation, if not a little bump up. And then if we can break that 1851 area that we had previously seen as support on July 7th, I'm going to be looking for that to be a new higher support going into tomorrow. And then a bounce higher would be likely if we can break the previous resistance around $22. I've appreciated the support on the videos lately from all you guys. And I did just bring out a video on ARPO. I know a lot of people are talking about that, and I think they're a pretty good, interesting long for the future. I've got a decent price target on them that's actually double HC Wainwright's that came out today. So if you're interested in seeing why and why I think that's a decent stock, make sure you check out that video as well. And other than that, that's going to do it for me in the video today, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.